Hey everybody, welcome to day 16. My journey to Bigfoot 200. I'm running right now. This is the North Mills River. If you've seen some of my other videos next to my house, this is the river that I run by, but I am actually up by the headwaters of this river. It's the old Hendersonville Reservoir, which I'm about to come to. This trailhead's about 5.5 miles from my house. I used to put a little race on out here called Rooster's Revenge. The North Mills has about 11 river crossings on it. Really beautiful. Lots of fishermen usually hit this. It's pretty darn cold this morning. Well, that's not too bad. It's 30 something degrees, probably mid 30s. But obviously Mr. Miles and I back out. Got 8.5 miles today out here. I'm gonna head for home, do some 25-second hill strides on the treadmill, 12% grade. That's give you guys a good vantage of it in a second, but this is the reservoir. It's not in active use, but you can see the waterfall there. Pretty. Definitely one of my favorite places out here. Big Creek feeds into this. Big Creek goes all the way up to the Brewers Parkway, just below Pisgah. I'm sure we'll hit it at some point. It's one of my favorite trails. But today we're gonna go back over here on Spencer. I love this section of Spencer. There's so many parts of this part of the forest that I absolutely just love. Such a cool place to run. Spencer has a ton of creek crossings, which is great for Mr. Miles when the weather is warm. But there we go. All right, now we'll just see if we can stay up. So anyhow, back to today. I've got some core work to do as well. So got up pretty early this morning. Alarm went off 4:30. Got up, got a ton of work done from 4:30 to 6:30. It's what affords me to be able to come out here and get my run in. Just getting up a little extra early. So just so fortunate to have this in my backyard. Got my recording with Miriam today for the MR Running Pains podcast. So we'll be talking about cadence. Excited for that conversation because I think it's super important and helpful for folks to know what's your ideal cadence and what can that do for you. If you're going too slow on cadence, what can that mean? So it should be a good conversation. Excited for that. Other things, one of my other videos, I had kind of mentioned that I was invited to the Ultra Aspire athlete team, not the elite team, kind of the ambassador team. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just didn't feel the terms were equitable for what I would do for them and what they would do for me in return. I know so many people get so excited to represent a brand, as do I, but you know, I think sometimes we forfeit too much in order to do that. You know, we have to give so much in return, but we're really not reaping much of a benefit. I talked about it before. I don't want to get out of soapbox about it, but I turned it down. I figured somebody else could probably benefit more from it. So as a race director and our RCA coach, I have access to a website called Expert Voice, and I get some industry discounts. First creek crossing. Here we go. Good job, Miles. See, whew. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. All right. I made it. So that being said, you know, the athlete team, they're just offering basically the same discount I would get from Expert Voice. So I really didn't see me having to, you know, pump my social media full of hashtags and forced posts, you know, to share about the brand for this little discount. I shouldn't say little, it's pretty significant. They were offering a 50% off, but like I said, I struggled with the decision because I didn't want to be rude. I certainly appreciated the offer, but at the same time, I had this conversation with my friends on Sunday. On the long run, I could only use their branded stuff. So what happens if I decide to use another pack for Bigfoot? I would be in breach of the non-disclosure agreement that I was having to sign. So that was part of it too. I want to be able to wear the gear that's best suited for me. Now 2022 shaping up to be a pretty expensive year between travel and race fees and all that for Black Canyon and Bigfoot. So, you know, I certainly consider, you know, discounts and sponsorships a blessing, but like I said, I just didn't feel it beneficial enough having to fulfill their obligations. And I looked at the website, and they say they mentioned on the website they just had this big paragraph of names. It's like a big blob. It just, I didn't feel like it was very individualistic, or that they put much energy or effort into the program. So anyhow, so that was this morning as well. I feel better about my decision. You know, there's always the twinge of doubt when you hit send, but you know, as I move through the morning here, actually, I feel pretty good about that decision. So on for my quest to find my pack. May end up being Ultra Spire, but I'm gonna keep researching and shopping around to see, you know, what's gonna work good for me for Bigfoot. There's a lot out there. Useway, USWE, that brand kind of piqued my interest. I have an athlete that runs for them, and he showed me some of their gear, kind of innovative stuff, so I like to check them out. There's a European company, Raid Light. I'd like to see what they got. So yeah, I think it was the right call. So anyhow, Miles already picked up some burrs. I don't know how he finds those so quick, but I love this. Spencer Creek is below me. See it down there? You certainly can hear it. We get up here a little bit and then drop back down, cross over it again. Then we're gonna take Middle Fork. Love that trail. Out to Never Ending Road. I think that's Forest Service Road 5097, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna hop on that for a while. Then we're gonna take Fletcher Creek all the way back. Probably hit up a side trail. Miles hates the gravel coming down to the reservoir. He was barking at me the whole way, and usually we'd have to hit that going back up to the car on the way out. But there's a user trail that we can take off of Fletcher Creek that brings us back up to Never Ending Road, and that'll save us a little pause. So here we go. Creek crossing number 2. Making it across. Yes. Dry feet. All right. This is our turn onto Middle Fork. Feeling good after yesterday. Went for a little hike. Just a, well, I should say, a little walk with Miles last night. We did a little over 2 miles. It's a beautiful night. Just nice to kind of clear the head. It's kind of a busy day yesterday, but just feels good to have a moment to get out in the evening, reflect, meditate, think about the next day. But I'll probably flick this on back later. Another section I'd love to show you guys on Fletcher. So I'll save some more comments for later on. So we're on the Never Ending Road now. One of my favorite sections is a tree right up there. It's tough to see in the video, but I call it the weeping tree. You can hear the water comes out from right under the root bulb. Super cool. I love it back here. Big man. Miles and I were running back here. Came around that corner. Right there where we're about to come around. There was a bobcat. And I think it was just waiting to see what we were. Took off up the hill. Such powerful legs. Man, it was cool. I'll never forget that. Man, so many stories back here. It's so quiet, so peaceful. Hardly ever see a soul. Got my bright colors on today. It is hunting season. So I've got bright orange and bright yellow. Got my bright orange buff on my head, bright yellow shirt, bright orange shorts, just trying to be seen. But another time we were running back here, there's a, off the side here, you can see it slopes down. Miles an hour coming by. There's a bear up in the tree, just gripping the sides and looking at us. We ran past it and it switched to the other side of the tree, keep looking at us, and then it slid down like a fireman pole. Whew. That gave me a jolt. Miles and I started cooking. So many great memories out here. Well, great memories, but just so many times we've been out here. So pretty. Welcome to Fletcher Creek Trail. I actually, one of my favorites to run down. It's got these little game meadows. They're so pretty. Once again, few creek crossings. This is one of the wetter runs that we run. But down here is a really cool meadow. I don't know why I love it so much, but I guess you'll see in a second. It's so pretty, and it's just a nice serene setting. I just was running along the never-ending road there and just looking up at the fall colors and the trees, and you know, just being grateful for the moment here, for being able to get out here and run and enjoy this. So I just want to express my gratuity for everything, life and everything in it. It's a blessing to be able to do all this, and definitely fully take advantage of the opportunities. So let's see if we can get over here. 1, 2. Ah, slippery. We made it. What are you doing? Give him a second. Good job, buddy. All right. We get through this little stretch here and we're gonna get into that clearing I talked about. It's hard to imagine that Vanderbilt owned a lot of, well, probably all of this at one point. This was all part of the Biltmore estate. He donated it so we could have national forest. That's pretty amazing. So, but there's still remnants out here. I believe they had some old train tracks for the logging industry. Back here I found ties, so I don't know if there's actual trains or just a way to cart them, I don't know, but it'd be cool to dig into the history back here a little bit more. Just going through my memories of animals there on the Never-Ending Road. When I shut the camera off, a big bird flew by. Looked more like a falcon. We've got the peregrine falcons up on the parkway, up by the Devil's Courthouse. Looked like a falcon, but the head could have been a hawk, but it was big. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a falcon then. I don't think the peregrine falcons are too big. They're fast. But anyhow, definitely a bird of prey. It was cool. Flew by. My wife and I were running down here one time, a little bit further up, and there was a bear just sitting off to our right. We startled it and it moved on. But you're always cautious. Running through parts where you've seen the bears. And Miles and I have only had one incident where our mom chased us because unfortunately we found ourselves between the cub, which crossed the trail ahead of us, and the mom, which was behind us. So she gave us chase. I was on the never-ending road. Obviously we got away, but she let us know we screwed up. Gave us this fierce growl. Vibrated our chest. I know it vibrated my chest. Probably vibrated all of Miles. But, whew, talk about a rush of adrenaline, man. Whew. Pace definitely increased after that. But thankfully and hopefully we stay unscathed from the animals around here. This is a bear sanctuary, so definitely plenty of them. Haven't seen many of them this year, actually, oddly enough. But it's starting to get cold, so I imagine they'll start to slow down. And probably won't see many during the winter. Miles and I came up behind a mom and two cubs that had snowed, so our footfalls were a little bit softer. When we came up behind them, they were walking up a forest road. We decided to turn around, go back. But Miles is pretty good. He doesn't chase them or bark at them or growl. He just kind of stays by me. As you can see, he's kind of got a proximity to me. He's usually pretty close to my legs, but we were lucky when we found him. Yesterday I was talking about my heart rate monitor. Couldn't get it to connect. Today I got it to connect, so back in business. New battery, connected, and we're good to go. So, all right, here we come. Popping out in the big field. Good job, buddy. There we go. There's mode, obviously. This is usually, you can kind of see the height of some of the brush. That's usually the whole field. But in fall, it goes down. Horses come through here quite a bit. Actually found a horseshoe one time. It's hanging on my porch. Yeah. Not as pretty as it usually is, unfortunately. For all the brush cut down, but alright. I'm gonna shut down for the day. Thanks for joining me on my run. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.